Alright, people, this is Coach Saki again. We are coming back to our second phase video. Our second phase video on investing in 7 baskets. These are one of Coach Saki's dance projects. We've decided to come up with these projects so that we can make a difference in every person's life. But the main focus on this project is finance. It's all about, short-term investments, like techniques so that we can be able to bring wealth, to build wealth and also to bring wealth to our people. Yes, it can be done. Anybody can do it. We are actually trying to simplify the way of investing. Investing in 7 different baskets. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to be talking about, the principles of wealth. I'm going to be talking about the different ways of investing what you have, the little that you have. Our main focus is 100 Rand, 100 Rand that you can, conduct a sort of like a short-term investment whereby you can make a difference in your life by actually taking, a small step. We are going to continue with this, project. It's going to take 14 days, and within that 14 days, when you stay put and listen to all these videos, you will be able to understand and know exactly what to do when you have a little that we have 100 Rand. You must remember that we made it clear on our advertisement that, a rand that we have today is better than the rand that of tomorrow that you might have of tomorrow. So what you have now, it is something that you can work on. It is something that we have on hand. You are owning that. It is something that we can say, I can budget, I can spend, I can plan, I can think of something that I can do with what I have. Investing in 7 different baskets. The most important thing about this project is that it's simplified. It's simplified, it's finance simplified. This is our second phase. I'm going to be talking, I'm going to be actually sharing these techniques, Okay, the first one that I would like to talk about, what is it that you can do? What else can you invest or perhaps like spend your money on so that it can bring like profits, so that it can bring like, a sort of a little interest on what you are doing, sort of like a small share that you can get. The first one is Easy Equities. Easy Equities, it is actually an online platform where you can buy shares. You can buy shares in different listed companies, some of them are fractional shares, which is like you can benefit from by just putting away your 100 Rand, which is like if you want to open an account, what you need to do, you just need an ID, proof of address and a bank account, or perhaps like a credit card if you have, just to deposit your money into your like easy equities so that you can be able to start buying shares on other small investments. There's no charge to open this account, low charges when you transact, where you can invest and all of that. So I mean, like we have it here in South Africa, like easy equities. I'm sharing it with you so that we can understand and so that we can know what to do and how to use it. The second one is Satrix Now. Satrix Now is the minimum investment amount, which is like this consists of ETFs and all of that, and like it's part of a portion. It's a portion of unit trust, which is like you can start investing from 100 Rand up to 250, a month. It is also an online platform with no minimum investment amounts. It's giving you it's giving you an opportunity to invest a smaller amount, which is I made it clear that your 100 Rand is in a selection of funds and all of that. So the other one is Outvest. The Outvest is actually, you can also, it's a short term, it's a small investment that you can utilize, investing your small amount starting from 100 Rand. It excludes the endowment product, this one, and then it's also like an online, and you can just have your ID and have your bank account you know, a maximum fee of one course is only 1.5% per month. You can invest in 5 different accounts, which is they are tailored, you know, as tailored to investment goals and all of that. But it gives you a benefit of actually investing the small amount that you have. The last one, which is Stash. Stash, which is actually Stash, is offered by Liberty. Stash, actually, you can stash, you can spare, like a sort of like a perhaps stash away a certain amount of amount anytime, which you can choose to invest when you have actually maybe started from your 20 rand up to your 100 rand, you know, which is like you need ID and then you need your bank card and all of that. There are no fees to open this, you know. You must remember that I'm sharing these techniques so that you can benefit from. You must remember also that on our phase 1, we spoke of like you are 10 people and you've got like take 10 people from your contacts, you know, 10 people from your contacts, as 10 people, each person come up with a 10, you put in forward 100 rand for a period of 365 days, which that makes 12 months. And then after that, you pop that actual capital, and then you decide what is it that you want to do. You can start up a good business, you know, venture, whereby you can perhaps maybe buy a plot or whatever that you'll be deciding as your consortium in that in that plan of that you have from that capital. But above all of this, the main objective is to invest. These are parts of 7Bs. These are outer structures of 7Bs. This is another way of investing and putting away your money so that it can help you. Second phase, investing in 7Bs. Understanding that the rent that you have today is better than the rent that you have or you might have of tomorrow. Because you can't talk about something that you do not have. You know, that is actually a most important term for finance. We're going to talk about financial ratios and other stuff, but at the moment now, let's focus on this one. Now, I want to actually tell you that I want to bring this forward. As you are focusing on these ways of investing, you've got to understand that there are 3 things that you need to look at before you can invest. The first one is to double check the fees charged, when these are charged, and if they are deducted from your investment account or if you have to pay them separately. Point number 2, you've got to make sure that you understand the investment terms and conditions, including how risky the investment is. For example, can your investment amount drop to 0? Point number 3, find out how would you withdraw your investment, if there are any costs associated with this and how long it can take, you know. You've got to understand all of this before you can, you know, venture into investment. You must know the fees and all of that. There are also other things that I'm going to share, which is like they are actually, you know, the most important factors that may actually help you in terms of boosting up your knowledge when it comes to what can you do with your money. And I made it clear before, which is on our phase 1 video, whereby I stated clearly that the main objective is to actually create a habit. To create a habit, that means to actually adopt a culture of knowing that it's important to invest. Keep your own, save your own, keep yours. First pay you, you know. Now, you must remember that all of this venture that we are actually trying to do, like this presentation, we are trying to sort of like create wealth creation. What do you do with what you have? How to create wealth? I'm going to tap on that so that I can be able to actually explain more. And I want to tell you that it's not easy. To create wealth is not easy. Even successful people and investors, they need to be disciplined to do that. And they need to be disciplined, they need patience, and a little bit of luck, you know. A little bit of luck is hard work. You must remember that when you have luck, then it came from hard work. And then, you know, most of all, which is the most important one, is knowledge. And you know, like there are actually long-term strategies that you have to actually look at, you know, have to utilize in order to build wealth. And also it has to actually improve, and it has to, it's actually, I'm designing this so that you can be able to actually improve your understanding about investment, about investing. You know, it's important that when you're actually setting yourself on the path to financial freedom, you know, you've got to involve more than owning a parcel of shares or buying an investment property, you know, to ensure financial security. And your investment, which is they should be part of comprehensive approach. Remember, it is your money to grow or lose, you know, because the main objective is to actually keep what you own, is actually you are creating wealth, and also you are actually investing your money. And you know, because we are living in a fast changing world whereby, like, I mean, stakes are high, investors and all of that, you know, you've got to look at many things, which is retirement fund legislation and all of that. But I'm not going to get deeper on that because those are big words. Now let's first start simple. Let's just use a simple language, you know. Now, sometimes other people, they've got a tendency to say that I want to retire rich, I want to have a lot of money, but the main objective or the main point that they are forgetting is that they don't tell what age and how much do they want to retire with. Those are most important terms that you've got to look at when it comes to investments. You've got to make sure that you know your game that you are playing in creating wealth. You want financial freedom, you've got to understand everything. You've got to make sure that you feed yourself with good knowledge, and knowledge that will enable you so that you can be able to know how to manage your finances and all of that. Now, I want us to tap into the principles of wealth. Like, how do you create wealth? Principle number one, you've got to set a goal. That's very important. You've got to set a goal. You must be able to establish your goals in writing. 20 years of research have proven that if you are doing that, if you want to be constructive in your investments or whatever that you are doing in your planning and everything, write down. Once you have made a first step in writing down, then you have actually achieved your goal, you know. And I can tell you now, I did make it clear that, like, you know, on other videos, that you've got to make your goal specific. What is it that you want? What is your goal? When do you want to achieve it? How long will it take it? What are your deadlines? You know, you name it, you know, and all of that. And you've got to sort of put time frames on them, you know. So by putting time frames, like you actually, you know, it keeps you, like it gives you a momentum to know that this week I must do this, because when you're actually putting time frames, you're actually helping yourself to understand that you do this week or today, it will keep you closer to your goal. Otherwise, you can't expect things to happen random, out like to just happen. You've got to make a plan. You've got to work some things out. That's principle number one, which is when you're setting up your goal, you will ask yourself many different questions. To count it, like to mention the few: what do you want for the future? Where do you want to live? How many children do you want? Are expensive overseas holidays important to you? Challenge yourself to be out of debt by a specific date. You know, make a commitment to saving an exact amount each month. At what age do you want to retire? Work out your goals, you know, and try to assess at what age they are attainable, but be realistic, you know. Are you comfortable taking risks? Do you tend to waste money? Are you really prepared to make sacrifices? You know, make a plan to achieve your goals, you know, by having a clear written plan. You know, that will help you, you know, in terms of like, you know, to be focused and to have that focus that is measured, focus that is actually clear to you, that you can see, oh, okay, I'm motivated because I know exactly what am I doing, what I want. Now, principle number two, pay yourself. You know, if you pay yourself, you know, that is a secret of finance, you know, because financial success depends on putting something aside. Obviously, you will pay your tithe first and all of that, but you know, saving and investing is actually important before you can spend. You can't spend, and then after that, then you say, okay, let me put this one aside. No, you must save and invest, and then after that, you can spend, because that one is for you, is for the future. You know, you are managing your finances, you are creating your wealth, you know, you are actually investing in 7Ps, you are actually increasing, you know, the cash brought forward, the cash that you have today. You are creating a better today, you know, by doing that. Those are terms of finance, you know. So you must remember, and always remember that income minus spending is equal to saving, right? Keep that one in mind. Because I mean, you know, you've got to know these tips, you've got to understand that they will help you. Principle number 3, start early. The important thing is that getting started right now, whether you start off with 50 rands or a month or 100 rand a month or whatsoever, but it helps you, you know where you are sitting. It helps you know what you are doing, you know where you are getting to. You start now, not tomorrow. You must remember that you are creating a habit. And to create that habit, you've got to make sure that you start paying yourself, you write your goal down. First one, you write your goal down. Second one, you pay yourself. And then after that, you start now with a small amount. Don't worry about the bigger, you know, units of money. Start small, and then, because at the end of the day, you want to build up that credit, that culture, that habit and that culture. Yeah, and then principle number 4. Principle number 4, use the magic of compounding. Compounding interest is one of the interests that has been used in calculating the best interest in finance. So it's a sort of like an engine of investing. It's an engine of investments and all of that. So you've got to make use of that, you know, to give you an example about compounding, you've got an interest, and you've got an you've got a principal amount that you want to invest, you've got a percentage of interest, you've got like time frame, like 5 years and all of that. That will actually, when you actually calculate all of that, you put your 10% your principal amount invested and your years that you are going to invest, the actual amount, the total that will be getting, it will give you the profit that will make from your investment invested on the certain period or the number of years on the certain percentage, and then you get the profit, or perhaps the profit from the principal amount. That is compound interest, how it works. You know, principle number 5, you must understand how money works. You know, you've got to feed yourself with information, listen to these videos, understand how they work, and make sure that you master your relationship with money, create that relationship with your money. Some of us spend for excitement, you know, which is to show off, and those things are the ones that when you retire, they kill your sort of your drive, they kill yourself, they kill sort of your motivation in other things. But now when you start to understand how money works, you know, and educate yourself, learn a lot, and conduct your research, listen to videos, and when there is an opportunity that is like this, you make use of it, you take it, you grab it, and you own it, and you create that relationship so that it can help you, it can benefit you, it can grow you from understanding your finances. Principle number 6, understand the risk and select appropriate investments. You know, people that are successful, they know which type of, you know, policy that they can take for investments. You know, where, you know, when you're creating wealth, you've got to understand what is it that you need to do right, you know, because you must remember every single investment decision you ever make involves what? A balancing act between the return you want and the risk you are about to prepare to accept, you know, because we all want the highest return, you know, for the lowest risk. So you've got to understand which one you must choose and all of that. So understand risk and select appropriate investment. I'm not going to vent that much on that because I don't want to confuse you. Principle number 7, spread your wealth to lower your risk. invest in 7 different baskets. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. Simple. You know, that is a well-known saying, you know. Principle number 8, you've got to understand the difference between assets and liabilities, you know. Assets is what you own, is what you can convert when you are no longer working, and it can create wealth for you. And liabilities, it is something that you owe, something that you must return. Property or a bond, it's a liability. Your car that you are paying, it's a liability. An asset is something that you have paid. You relax when you're sleeping at night. You know that you don't have anything that you need to worry about. That is an asset. You own it. A property that is bought cash, that you've bought it, you've paid it up, it's an asset. But the one that you're still paying a bond, it's a liability. Differences between assets and liabilities, you know. Yeah, these are actually principles that you must understand. Principle number 9, accumulate wealth faster. You know, some of us pay more taxes on food, clothing, and shelter, and all of that, you know. How do you then reduce that? You've got to understand that when you reduce that, you know, buy cash. You understand? Don't buy on interest, you know. And the other one, the most important one that the last two, principle number 10, stay on track. You know, you've got to be consistent in what you are doing. Don't do it now and then don't do it tomorrow. Stay on track. Focus. Do it. Keep it as your habit. You know, make it there. Plant it. Throw some water and cultivate it on a timely basis and all of that. Now, the last one, which is one of the steps that I would like to tap on, the debt trap. The debt trap is a humiliation by day and a worry by night. This is a saying by the Quran. Who wants to be a millionaire? Almost everyone dreams of accumulating great wealth. But it's a trap. I just want us to end there. I'm going to continue to face you with another topic. But thank you for your time. May God bless you.